fine.
CQDX, CQDX, CQDX. This is Havana calling. CQDX, CQDX, CQDX. This is Radio Havana calling all shortwave listeners and radio amateurs. Welcome to... DXers Unlimited, Radio Havana's weekly feature dedicated to the fascinating world of radio communications.
Hola amigos, welcome to the middle of the week edition of DXers Unlimited. I'm your host, Arnaldo Arnie Coro, Radio Amateur CO2KK, now ready as always to bring to you several interesting radio Havana related topics. But first, a short solar cycle activity update. The sun is once again moving along a period of very low activity with zero sunspots count for 24 days in a row, and also solar flux levels nosediving below 70 units. A very quiet sun, minimum solar cycle phase now. Now here's item 2 of today's show, protecting your radios from transients induced into the antenna system, part 2. As I have said here many times, it is a very good idea to add on to any receiving site a receiver front-end protection unit to protect sensitive high-frequency and VHF receivers from high levels of radio frequencies that may come when one is using large antenna arrays, although, as a matter of fact, I would say that receivers front-end protection should be provided at all locations every time where an external antenna is used. I've also explained recently here, in the particular case of multi-station radio amateur contest groups where receiver damage may occur from high-power stations operating in the same or adjacent frequency bands in the same room, it will prove to be impossible to keep the multi-transmitters contest station on the air without adding a very sophisticated device to protect the receivers. And, of course, the protection is essential for software-defined radios wanting to run receivers 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, unattended, as the protection will divert electrostatic charges and near lightning surges to ground where they are removed safely. Now, how does it work? Amigos, the typical present day's well-designed and well-built protection unit has 3 levels of protection against overpower damage, electrostatic charge on the antenna, path to ground, and nearby lightning surges that also are sent to ground. A gas discharge tube rated to take nearby lightning surges of 10,000 amperes is connected across the input socket of the radios. An isolation transformer connects between the 2 sockets. This isolates the output socket from any electrostatic charges on the input socket. If the unit is used as a raw protection device for a receiver, I recommend that the device is connected to a good earth-ground connection so that the excess energy picked up by the device can safely flow to ground. The built-in broadband isolation transformers are designed to saturate with high radio frequency power levels so that a diode limiter can limit the output power to a safe level also. The multiple levels of protection are such that if the output of a 150-watt transmitter is inadvertently applied to a protection unit input, it will still protect the receiver from a burnout. A well-designed front-end protection device will meet the following parameters. It will have very low loss of insertion between the antenna and the receiver. It will also allow feed-through power of 17 dB, about 10 watts input, without damages. Amigos, I always wonder why designers of highly sophisticated high-frequency VHF commercial receivers and transceivers do not include the front-end protection that is certainly required to assure the survivability of the equipment in today's very complex electromagnetic world. By the way, even very primitive elementary protection of receiver front ends seems to work quite well, although they will require frequent checks in order to be sure that back-to-back diodes used are not damaged. More radio related information coming up in a few seconds when DXers Unlimited middle of the week edition continues after a short break for station ID. I'm Arnie Coro in sunny, beautiful Havana, Cuba. Sí, amigos, this is your favorite shortwave radio station. This is Radio Havana Cuba on the air and on the World Wide Web, providing you with a wide scope of interesting programs. We do QSL, we verify research and reports with a nice QSL card. You can send your signal reports and comments about our programs to info.rhc@enet.cu. Again, info.rhc@enet.cu. I'll do that phonetically now. India, November Foxtrot, Oscar, Romeo, Hotel Charlie. The symbol for at, Echo, November, Echo, Tango. Symbol for dot, Charlie, Uniform, CU. Again, info, RIC@net.cu. Now, our next radio holiday item. Following the track of tropical severe weather events will be the job of many radio amateurs in the Caribbean now that the tropical hurricane season is about to start on June the 1st. Also, it will last until the 30th of November. Frequencies on the 20, 40, and 80 meter bands will be used regularly for establishing amateur radio emergency nets of the Caribbean. By the way, listening to the high-frequency communications links used by weather services that operate special aircraft known as Hurricane Hunters used to be very interesting, but now use sophisticated digital protocols, leaving the classic voice signals on single sideband voice by aircraft only for air traffic control communications. At distances of less than about 200 miles from the departure and destination airports, between 110 to 136 MHz, some of those aircraft can be heard during the hurricane season. And now, amigos, before going to at the latest propagation update. Very poor high-frequency propagation conditions due to the extremely low solar activity for the past 24 days in a row, and it doesn't seem to improve at all during the next few days, according to the most recent forecast. Send your signal reports to info@rhc@net.cu, as said before. Also, you can send your signal reports via airmail to Arnie Coro. My last name is spelled Charlie Oscar Romeo Oscar. Arnie Coro, Radio Havana Cuba, Havana, Cuba.
And that's all for today. This is Arnie Coro, Radio Amateur CO2KK, your host here at Radio Havana's DXers Unlimited, saying 73 and very good DX.
Thanks, Arnie Coro with DXers Unlimited, heard twice a week on Sundays and Mondays, UTC days, and on Wednesdays as well, on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, UTC days, here with Arnie, CO2KK.